This is the man we are going to move the Speaker of the House from the Parliament. Thank you, Comrade Peter King. Where cartel? Drop the cartel. All right, Comrade Peter King. Give him a big round of applause. He's out. Holy for excitement. Holy for excitement. Isat Buchanan bring a difference. More fire. More fire. More fire. More fire. More fire.
God is the greatest.
More fire.
Going to
He's out.
count your blessings, yeah.
He's out. Comrades, while we have more fire, let me tell you something about fire. In 2016, your electricity bill was 23 cents US per kilowatt hour under the last PNP administration. It is the same contract we have now with JPS, but you used to pay way less. Under this Labour Party government, with their incompetence, we are paying 45 cents per kilowatt hour. The difference is the next speaker I am going to bring to the platform. A man who understands the energy sector and have the ability to make a difference, because we're going to bring in renewable energy. Port Antonio, Portland, make some noise and welcome the next Minister of Energy, Comrade Philip Paulwell.
Fist in the air, flag in the air. Everybody jump, put your fist in the air. Move to the left and put your flag up in the air. Move to the right and put your fist up in the air. Oh yeah, brr bang bi dumbe. Why padaba dumade? Brr bang bi dumbe. Oh yeah.
Comrade leader, comrades all on the platform, comrades, good evening. You know, when we were arriving, and I was reflecting that this morning we started from 5 o'clock, and we spent the entire day on the road, and we were feeling a little bit tired before we reached here, you know. But as we landed in Port Antonio, Isat, Doreen, the level of energy as the energy man that I got, I know that time come. And Portland is ready to return to the People's National Party. And I have to say, I am giving so much credit to my party leader, Marky G. In the next election under the Prime Ministership of Marky G. Comrades, we hear people talking about achievements. And I just want to look at two areas. Because 20 years ago, I was a minister that established the Universal Service Fund and e-learning. I was a minister. The People's National Party established the Universal Service Fund. And the aim of the Universal Service Fund was to ensure that in every public space you would have access to the internet. So it wasn't to put a Wi-Fi here and a Wi-Fi over there. It was to enable us to have what we call ubiquitous internet access. And so when I hear them talking about Wi-Fis, many of them being established today, and by tomorrow, they're not working. You can't get access. I say let us return to the People's National Party to complete that plan. But more importantly, we have started a tablets in school program. And if it had continued, what happened to us with COVID would not have happened. Today, the Jamaican students are reading less. The literacy rate is less than it was when we were in office. And if we had continued that program, today we would have been achieving a lot more from our students. So we want to see the People's National Party return. And the good thing is that they can run as long as they want, but they can't hide. There's something called time come. And there is no more guessing. We know tomorrow, and we know from weeks ago, that tomorrow, the 10th of August, they were going to call elections because they ran out of time. You have a party that has spent its time in government, in opposition, understanding the way of the world, what is happening in the world, the developments that are taking place, and we are ready to take Jamaica beyond where it is at. And in the area of energy, we are determined to go back to the plan that we had when we were reducing the price of electricity. Because today, the price of electricity is so high, it affects everything that you pay for. And that's why times are so hard and things are so bad and the Labourite couldn't call the elections. We are determined to use solar as a way to extend the grid beyond where it is at. We used to have a program called REP to bring electricity to underserved areas. We are going to complete that work, but this time we're going to be using solar to do it, so that today, with your solar panels, with your inverters, and with your batteries, you can now supply communities 24/7 with electricity. And also, we want to give you, the people, the power to do it yourself, so that you are going to be able, under our government, to put up your own solar panels and to generate your own electricity as we give real power to the people of Jamaica. That's what we promise you. That's what we're going to do. And Marky G and the People's National Party will ensure it's happening. So, as we look to Portland, and I can say with confidence that it looks like a true love for Portland. We're taking back west and we're taking back east. And I am predicting tonight that Comrade Doreen and Isat will be your two members of Parliament going to Parliament after the next election. Comrades, stay strong, stay firm, one love, one heart.
People's National Party say, hey, take a good look, Philip Hall, well named then on the good book. Vote for the big man, no stand up and no look.
Ease out. Comrades, we see them fighting for power, but they know not the hour. So they come bribing with their old buses, spare parts and money, trying to belittle our integrity. They say that what we know is just what they teach us. And the Labourites, they're so ignorant that every time they can reach them through political strategy. For 8 years, 9 years, they keep the people hungry. And when you need to get some food, your brother, your sister, got to be your enemy. I want to say thank you, party leader, for putting off that meeting. Being the man, being the leader. Stand up, party leader. Being the...
You. Them can't ambush you in the night.
No, dear.
We done learn from Bob Marley already.
Power! 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 They wanted to ambush. They were planning to ambush. Yeah. They were planning to ambush. But we have a general secretary who is a wise head. And that's why one radio announcer want to physically assault the general secretary of the People's National Party, Cliff Hughes. We say no violence round here. Hold on. We see the man who beat the woman with the stool. There is a saying that says, he who angers you control you. Gen Sec, you have them weak. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, the General Secretary of the People's National Party, the chairman of the campaign for 2025 to rescue Jamaica. Here comes Comrade Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Hear the choir, praise the Lord. Comrade leader and our next Prime Minister of Jamaica, to our two candidates in Portland, and I am sure that Comrade Isat will be sending home the wife. And we don't want she lonely when she dey home, so we are send the husband go keep her company. No, because I am trying to keep close to my God, because I am trying to live my life in a good way. I hear people are say, oh, me forget box in my mouth. And I want Vibes Cartel to answer them tonight.
Oh, you can them, just one them. Hear me a say now.
You can't bag me up.
Hear me a say now.
You can't rough me up.
Hear me a say now.
You can't drape me up.
That man say.
Oh.
You no afraid of no bullbuck, no dopey gangster. Go for your army, go for your tanker. Go for your go for your go for your huggies, go for your pamper. Don't touch me now, touch your button now. Don't touch me now, touch your button now. Don't touch me now, touch your button now.
No boy never box me when me a pitney. No boy can't box me when me a man. And who you?
We no frightened so easy. All when you're rolling with the army that no scare
we represent. No dear. Nowhere, no time. Hear them. Dayton forget box because he must shout for microphone. They all man a beat woman with stool. And you know say him forget box. Oh man a thief, poor people money, and him not forget box. They are afraid of Miss Lucky One Boy because I step to them anytime, anywhere, any day. Call the election tomorrow and I'll be stepping to Labourite from Portland to Westmoreland.
Them coward like that. Them coward like that. Them coward like that.
Them won't come take me on. But me not afraid of them, me not even need no bucketive. Me will step to them by myself because me not stop say the Prime Minister
not qualified to lead the country because he's uncertified. Hold on. Imagine I go to a doctor, and when I go to the doctor, somebody said to me, the doctor, they're not qualified and they're not certified. If you do something, and I say, no, sir. Me don't want to see this a doctor. The doctor turned around and said, mine. Imagine I go to a lawyer, and I say, I have one case where I want you to deal with. Somebody said, a lawyer, they're not certified. So I say, no, sir. The lawyer turned around and cussed me, say, bad mind, me bad mind. I go to a nurse because I want some attention medically. Somebody said, no, the nurse, they're not certified. And I say, may I choose somebody else? The nurse start cuss me, say, true, me bad mind. Imagine, all of a sudden, the man from West Portland who look like him retarded, him did only go to school, go pop fight, a bad mind alone, him can't talk about every day. No. These people are behaving as if them alone can talk, as if we are children. Shut your mouth and go sit down around there, so me box you upon your lip, box who? I am going to speak up on behalf of the people of Jamaica. As long as God lends breath to this body of mine, I will be speaking up on behalf of the people of this country. As long as there's a child in Portland who go to school and can't find food for yam, I'm going to speak up on behalf of that child. As long as there's a child up in the hills who want to go to school but can't afford the fare to go to school, somebody needs to speak up on behalf of that child. No matter what they say, we are standing in the breach on behalf of the people of this country. Time come for changes to be made in this country. You run, Mr. Prime Minister. You run, but you can't hide. Tomorrow, name the date, and so we can get you out of that office. Now, let me calm down. Let me calm down. Can I tell them that I am a work in progress, you know. God is not through with me yet. But I want to say something. I want to say a few things to you. I hear people trying to put forward an argument that the only thing that we are campaigning on is corruption and that we don't have plans. It is a lie from the bottom of the pit of hell. When we come out and we talk about our plans, they don't pay any attention to that. They carry the little thing that them can try and mix you up. And they focus on that and say that are the news and leave out the rest of the things. And then them same one say, you're not talking about no plans. Well, we know that the people of this country, for the last 2 years, every time Don Anderson go to the field, the people of this country say when the election call, they will be putting the X squarely beside the head and voting for the People's National Party. They came about and said they are the government that has done the most in the history of this country. It is a lie. Not no go so. If you believe that you have done the most, why you don't call the election and see if the people believe so it go for true? Few years ago, when them catch we off guard in a COVID and beat we up, it get to them head. They thought that was the end of the People's National Party. And I want to go down in a scripture tonight to talk about the boss. I mean, I talk about no look chant a psalm tonight. So if we fight against those who fight against me, God knows that is true, but I know that alone I go on in here tonight. I want to talk about Brother Nehemiah. Because when there was a breach of the wall and it needed to be repaired, Nehemiah put up his hand and said, send me, I will go and repair the wall. When he started the work, the little people them who are look on say, warm to these little feeble Jews. Do they really believe that they can repair this wall? I'm talking about the Sambalat and the Tobias then. And them are wear green nowadays, you know. As Nehemiah continue to build, them stop talk and now them try comfort distract Brother Nehemiah. A Bible me I talk about, you know. Bible, it's in a Bible, you can go read it. Brother Nehemiah had to get his shovel or whatever I want to call it, his building instrument in one hand. And he had to get a sword in the next hand. Because whilst him build, he had to keep off the detractors. Him build look a bit more and he keep off the detractors. They started out by saying that Mark Golding could not lead the PNP to victory. He continued to build anyway. They criticize and say all manner of foolishness. In white, they don't like how he dress. All of them, there's something when I have nothing to do with the price of rice. He continued to build anyway. When they realize that the PNP has restored the breach, here them come now, trying to distract Marky G and the PNP. Well, we are blood and fire comrades, and we're not afraid of anybody, anywhere, anytime. We are standing up for the people of this country. We are not doing anything to agitate the Labourites. We are not doing anything to cause any harm to any Jamaican. But we are standing up for our people and protecting their rights. You have a right to say you don't like why Prime Minister go and win and you are going to vote him out of office. You have a right to say you don't like the old school bus them and you want new school bus for your picnic at school. You have a right to say so. Them want to reduce leadership in our country to them local gimmicks and them local picture taking business. A quality we are talking about. Quality we are talking about. We're talking about a man who, when they decided that they were going to lick down poor people's house, the Prime Minister of the country, you know, man, go to Parliament and say them are going to lick down poor people's house. Mark Golding called Isat Buchanan. Him and never even candidate them time there. And care government got court and take out injunction to stop Andrew Holness and the Labour Party government from lick down poor people and move them off a land. And any piece of land where they got Portland where them have them iPad, take your eye off my people them things because you don't not get it. When war broke out and bombs are dropped and students were in Ukraine in danger and them ball out for help from the government tell the students themselves to take a loan to come back to your yard. Pitney when they school, when they work, them say them to take loan to come back to their yard. The same Mark Golding when them a try disrespect, go in and personal money and take it out and send it go foreign to give the student them to buy them plane fare and come back to their yard. I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care about what kind of clothes you wear. I care about what is in your mind and what is in your heart. I want to know that you can think through the problems of the day and come up with practical solutions for complex problems. I want to know that you are caring, loving, decent individual. And that me want to know. Over 30 years ago, Mark Golding go down in a ghetto and find himself a little black empress by the name of Sandra. And he made her into his wife. The other day, I hear a little voice note that go around with one MP. You see when Mark Golding turned Prime Minister, no MP now go say Mark and his wife are perfect strangers just living this little life together when it really make no sense. They will say what a loving, caring couple they are. We have sat and we have done the work to put the plans together. We will release the manifesto and you will see it. And even before we release it, we know what them are going to say. How much this costs. Go and go ask Tufton how him a break ground for $14.2 billion project when you're in a budget. When you ask him that, you can go ask we about what it costs. A government will determine their priorities and the PNP will prioritize the people of this country. So last week, me tell them say, if them don't call it, we are going to call it. If them don't call it, we are going to call it. The people are going to call it. So, Mr. Prime Minister, take a mic tomorrow night. Tell the people of the country that nomination day is August 18 and election day is September 3. Call the election so that Mark Golding can become Prime Minister. Make welcome the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Golding.
Love us,
warriors and foot soldiers, supporters, warriors and foot soldiers, supporters of the People's National Party who are here in Port Antonio tonight. When I look out and I see the sea of orange to my right, to my left, in front of me going way over there, so I can only say PNP River, come down, bank to bank, in this beautiful parish of Portland tonight. Comrades, I want to pay a special regard and big up to our two candidates in the parish of Portland. In Western Portland, you have a true warrior for the people, a person who has experience in politics, a person who has gone into a constituency that some people think belongs to them. But she is undaunted by the naysayers. She has done the work. She has organized the PNP on the ground. And I am looking forward to a historic victory when Doreen Campbell unseats Darrell Vaz and returns West Portland to the column of the People's National Party. In East Portland, you have a general, a man who has made his mark advocating and litigating for the people of this country who are under pressure of oppression. He is a man who has gone to the highest court of the land and conducted his case with distinction, leading to the most historic criminal appeal, which was resulting in ultimately the acquittal of Jamaica's top dancehall artist. And this man was the man behind that famous victory. And before he became a candidate, whenever we had a burning issue where we needed to protect the rights of the people, whether it was in Clifton, when the Prime Minister ordered the destruction of the people's houses, or whether it was up in Fairy Hill, Pleasant Hill, in Low Idasville, when 60-something families who had been settled on land in the early 1970s by Michael Manley, who had made an arrangement with the Worthy Park Estates that had owned that land. And these are people who built their homes and they've lived there for well over 40 years. And the Prime Minister's ministry sends eviction notices to them, telling them they must not reap any crops that are on their land and they must get off of the land within 90 days. Again, we had to take them to court, Isat, and they had to back off, and the people are there and they're going to get their titles because I'm going to ensure of that. Isat Buchanan is a man who defends people whose rights are being trampled. And he has come into politics to serve in other capacities. And he has a deep vision of progress. To uplift the people of East Portland. And I say, hail the man. And I ask all of you to ensure that Doreen and Isat are with me in Garden House come election day. When the votes are counted, East and West will be returned to the column of the People's National Party. Comrades and friends, why am I standing here now? Why am I in politics? Well, Jamaica has been good for me and good to me. Born and grow here in Jamaica, born at the University Hospital, July 19, 1965. Grew up on the university campus, Mona Prep Campion, Norman Manley Law School, did some studying in England too. Came back after I finished my studies and I've always worked in Jamaica. Built up one of the top law firms in the country. Built up 2 different companies which were listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And I became financially secure. And I said I should try to serve the people of this country to the best of my ability. And here I find myself standing on the shoulders of Norman Washington Manley, the Right Excellent, Michael Joshua Manley, Percival James P.J. Patterson, and Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller, champions of the people, champions of development, champions of upliftment. My vision for Jamaica is to fix the system. The system that has hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans living on land without a title for the land. The system calls them squatters. The system does nothing to help them. The law that makes them squatters was passed by the colonial masters. We are going to change that law. The 60 years that is required before you acquire a title, if you've been living on government land, we're going to change that law and reduce it to 25 years to empower and legitimize the tenure and ownership of hundreds of thousands of Jamaican people, and we will ensure they get their title. And for those who are well established on the land and have invested and built their homes, but don't reach 25 years yet, don't worry. If you want to acquire the land, we'll negotiate a good price for you, a reasonable price and payment terms you can afford so you can acquire ownership. We want to build an ownership society. Our vision is a society where all Jamaicans feel part of it, first-class citizens with a stake and with opportunities for advancement. That is why, when it comes to education, we have the First in Family Scholarship Program. We know that there are so many children who do what they're supposed to do. Study hard at school. Keep out and away from bad company. Make their parents proud. Get a whole heap of subjects. Qualify for university. And when it comes to the financial part of it, they can't cross it. And they end up working in a wholesale or doing some other job that is below the level that they could have had they had the opportunities they should have had. We know that education is the antidote to poverty. So we say if you are the first person in your family to have qualified for university or college, the next PNP government will give you a full scholarship so that you can attend that university or college and you can become a degree holder. Somebody who is ready to enter the world of work as a fully qualified individual and therefore has opportunities open to you that you wouldn't otherwise have. The PNP is going to give you that benefit. And we're not just doing it for you, we're doing it for your families, because we expect that when you step up to that level, you will ensure that your brothers and sisters come through the same gate too. We want to end intergenerational poverty in this country, and we know education is the key. We know that many children are not attending school 5 days a week. Absenteeism is a big problem. And we know that over 30%, 3 out of 10 of the primary school children leave primary school and go to secondary school and they can't read and write. They can't do basic arithmetic. The country can't develop like that. Those children are not getting what the system should give them. So we want to fix the absenteeism problem. We're going to spend an additional $9 billion under the EASE program to ensure that every needy child can go to school and get a hot, nutritious meal every day at school, primary and secondary school. And that $9 billion will be spent with local farmers, building the agriculture industry, solving 2 problems at the same time, absenteeism and investment in agriculture. That's why we have the RIDE program, because we recognize that another reason for absenteeism is that the bus fare and taxi fare, especially in rural Jamaica, is expensive for many parents and they can't manage it 5 days a week. We're going to send out the social workers and guidance counselors to check into why the children are not attending school. And if the cost of transportation is the reason why, we under the RIDE program will provide a subsidy of $10,000 a month to those families per child so that they can cover the cost of transportation for those children. And we will ensure that the persons providing the transportation who benefit from that are well behaved and have been checked out properly so that their children are safe to ride with them. Comrades, when it comes to housing, so many people in Jamaica would love to own their own home. But it's a dream that is not being met with the system that we have now. Michael Manley established a housing trust as a vehicle of social engineering to give Jamaicans who previously would never have had a chance to buy a house, that they would contribute to the fund and the trust would allow them to acquire a house. This government, even after the IMF agreements were fully completed, has continued to take $11.4 billion a year out of the National Housing Trust for every year since they've been in office since 2016. It has depleted the capital of the National Housing Trust to the point where they have to be outsourcing lending to private lenders and paying an interest rate subsidy, which is further depleting their resources. The People's National Party will end that extraction of resources from the National Housing Trust. So the National Housing Trust is financially capable of fulfilling the mandate, the original mandate of Michael Joshua Manley. We will use the National Housing Trust and other state agencies in housing to build 10,000 houses, affordable houses per year for the next 5 years. Those houses will be built on public land that is not suitable for agriculture. And we are going to make those houses available for sale to people at an affordable price because we're not going to charge any money to them for the value of the land in the house. So when they buy the house, they get the house plus the land, but they only pay for the house. And so they will immediately have equity in that purchase, and they'll be wealthier than they were the day before they made the purchase. And for young people up to 45, if you can't afford a deposit, and you've been contributing to the National Housing Trust for at least 2 years, we will establish a young person deposit fund within the National Housing Trust. And you will be able to get a grant, money you don't have to repay, $500,000 to cover the deposit on your first purchase of a house, to help you along the way to become an owner of the house. And we have the rent-to-own scheme, because we recognize many Jamaicans don't have a formal pay slip to prove their income to qualify for a mortgage. Because there could be a farmer, there could be a taxi driver or a taxi owner, there could be a hairdresser or a small shop operator. We will say you can go into one of those houses we're going to build, and you can go in as a tenant. And if you can make the rental payments for 6 months, which will be set at the level of a mortgage, we will treat those consistent payments as proof that you can service the mortgage. We will qualify you for the mortgage. You can draw down on a loan, acquire title to the house, and move from being a tenant to an owner and step up in life. That is the PNP in action. And comrades, when it comes to persons with disabilities, I grew up in a home with my parents who served the community of persons with disabilities. My father came to Jamaica in 1953 as the first orthopedic surgeon in Jamaica, the first bone specialist. After he arrived some time after, there was a Kendall train crash. He was put in charge of the medical response, worst train accident in the history of Jamaica. Then there was a polio epidemic. He was put in charge of that. And he started what was then called the Polio Center. Later, after polio was conquered in Jamaica, it became the Mona Rehab Center near Papine in Kingston. And when my father died in 1996, P.J. Patterson blessed my family with the honor of naming that institution after my father. So it's now called the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center. I grew up with people who are in wheelchairs or on crutches around me. And I have always felt a sense of obligation to make the system right for them too. Because right now they are the most vulnerable in the society. Very high levels of unemployment and so many challenges to their daily life. We had a seminar for persons with disabilities this week. I don't know if any of you heard it. It was streamed live. And when you hear the stories and the questions from the floor in that seminar, the difficulties that the system puts in front of those people who should be the priorities for getting benefits from the state to help them deal with the challenges of life, are being excluded by all the bureaucratic hurdles and delays and discrimination against them. We're going to cut out all of that. We're going to make sure that persons with disabilities are treated with respect and given priority when it comes to social programs. And we're going to set up a $1 billion National Disabilities Fund to help them with their assistive aids, to help build sidewalks where the wheelchairs can travel, and to generally make life much easier for them, and we'll replenish it every year. Coming to the creative industries, we know enough youths in Jamaica full of talent when it comes to creativity. Whether it be the music, whether they be a DJ or a singer, whether they be a sound engineer, or whether it be the internet, they can be an influencer, a YouTuber, a TikToker. They could be an artist painting beautiful paintings. They could be making crafts out of wood or pottery out of clay. We are going to establish a $1 billion fund to promote the creative industries so that the youths who go into that line of work can get a bus with the help of funding from that grant, from that fund. And we'll replenish it every year because Brand Jamaica is built on the creative output of our people. And it is that the whole tourism industry relies on. And that is why we have our respect around the world, because of our creative brilliance. From our musicians through to our food that we produce, right through the range of creative expression. And the PNP wants to bring the creative industries into the center of our economic planning and our economic development, because that is where the people will find the benefit of their creative expression being a source of income and uplifting to them in their individual lives. And all of this, and all our plans to uplift the people of this country depend on government, with the people having trust and confidence in the government. Because we want the people to support our programs, and the people will support our programs if they believe that we're approaching our work with a conscience, with clean hands, and a pure heart, with integrity, in other words, and being accountable for what we do. That is why we're going to support impeachment legislation. So if an MP is ever seen again, caught on video, beating up a woman with a stool in a car park, bad, impeachment must reach that MP so he can be held accountable for his wrongdoing and bringing his office into disrepute. That's why we're going to adjust the gag clause in the Integrity Commission Act. Because right now, there are 10 MPs under investigation for illicit enrichment, which is a serious corruption offense. And the only one that we're aware of is the Prime Minister himself, who is still under investigation. But the others, we don't know who. And they're going to be an election soon. And so no doubt all of them may be candidates, and people don't even know that they're voting for somebody who's under investigation for illicit enrichment. That is wrong. So we're going to amend the guard clause to put a better balance between protecting people's reputations and protecting the public interest in transparency. We're going to ensure that government is accountable and that government delivers the services and programs for the people, using all the resources that the people have made available to government through tax, without siphoning off funding for cronies and friend and company, like what has been going on. When you have a drill, a medical drill for surgery, that Bustamante Hospital needs, its market price is between 3 and 4 million. Yet the government is buying that drill from a company which 80% of the shares are owned by a JLP MP, and paying over $30 million for that drill. That difference between the real value and what is being paid is money that could have bought the CAT scan. They don't have no CAT scan machine at Bustamante. If the child needs a diagnostic test using a CAT scan, they have to send the child to public. And it is corruption that is causing those things. That's why it's a serious business. And when you see them import 110 old bus, over 10 years old, and we see how those buses are operating on the road, every day we see videos of what is going on. And there's $1.4 billion we're told to buy those old buses. When we know that the value of those buses, and we've even seen some of the invoices, is not near that, not even that tenth of that price. We said that has to be investigated, and we will ensure it is investigated. There must be full transparency over that transaction, because we're not in a hanky-panky when it comes to the children of Jamaica. And I want to say, we are blood and fire comrades. We approach the politics with passion. We approach the politics with full commitment. But the word is love. We not deal with violence. We're not afraid of nobody, but we not deal with violence. That's why you can have a sea of thousands of comrades. And look at the sign right there on that pole, and we not trouble it. We not molest that. Because we say democracy reign. Everybody can express themselves, including by billboards. We need not violence or any intimidatory tactics. And I'm going to ask the Prime Minister and the others who follow him on the other side, stop saying things, inflammatory things which you know are not true. In Central Kingston, there have been a couple of incidents of shooting. The police have not said that any political motivation was involved. Our intelligence suggests strongly otherwise. Gang conflict in a community, which is a predominantly JLP area. The second one. And the first one had nothing to do with politics either. Yet, the Prime Minister or Tufton coming out and insinuating that it's political violence, as if they want to set up a pretext for some kind of reprisal against us. Leave those talk alone. That doesn't help Jamaica move forward. Let us have a peaceful election. Let the people's voice be heard loud and clear. And when the trumpet sound tomorrow, and we know the date, we are ready to take it to them. Our plans and our programs are going to uplift this country and take it to another level. And we have more to tell you. Just listen out for our manifesto. We want the voice of the people to be heard. We will respect the decision of the people. But in my heart, I know the people want change. The people are tired of this wicked and uncaring government. The people are tired of the stagnant economy with the Minister of Economic Growth not delivering any growth, being the Prime Minister himself who can't be certified. The people want change. And I'm on Marky G, Mark Jefferson Golin, and the team I have with me of some brilliant comrades. We are going to deliver that change. The people of Jamaica will make their choice. And I say to you tonight, when you make your choice, I want you to put the X squarely beside the head. If you're in East Portland, Isat Buchanan, West Portland, Doreen Campbell, are you ready, Portland? Are you ready, Portland? Are you ready for the People's National Party? Are you ready for Iman Marky G as the next Prime Minister? Oh gosh, I hear you, I see you, you look beautiful. Comrades, one love. God bless you. Thank you for coming. The word is love. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people, I say. Power. 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 Comrades! Comrades!
I love my
Comrades! March! March! Comrades! March! March! Comrades, march! Comrades! Ease out. Comrades, remain upstanding for Jamaica. Arise.
The trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, so awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to be loyal and faithful to
Power to the people. Power to the people. Comrades, who are the comrade drivers, we are asking you to take your time on the road. Comrade, be safe. We have an artist to perform. We have an artist to perform, so don't move, comrades. Hold on the DJ. Drivers, we are asking you to take your time on the road. We need every comrade to get to home safe. Comrade, when you look at the Isat Buchanan poster, there is a bar on it. You can scan it and you will see the manifesto for Eastern Portland. Once again, scan the barcode. You will see the manifesto for Eastern Portland. David, where you say, youth? Think of yourself. Comrades, we have an artist to perform. Big bad artist. We fire night there. Fire night. Fire night.
Port Antonio, Prospect, Manchineer, Fury Hill, Fellowship, Psycho, Eastern Portland, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie. I start to do it when I try, them I try. Fiboken and Tom Pepper, see nice sky. PMP and a lie. Eastern Portland and a lie. I be never lie. Fiboken and Tom Pepper, see nice sky. I start Bucken and Pandy Grung, everybody run come.
Level up that for me. Pull it up there again. Me I say all socialists, but me I go say bam 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 bam. Psycho! We there now one IB in you know, one Isaac Buchanan, is it me? And I say make sure I do the right thing, is it? Give me the song again, please, my G.
Eastern Portland.
We are listed, we are coming from, so you know we go down.
We are Isat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Port Antonio, Prospect, Manchineer, Fury Hill, Fellowship, Psycho, Eastern Portland, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie, and a lie. I start to do it when I try, them I try. Fiboken and Tom Pepper, see nice sky.
Portland and a lie.
Eastern Portland,
and a lie, yeah, and a lie. We can't talk to you now.
Fiboken and Tom Pepper, see nice sky.
Isaac Buchanan on the ground, everybody run cover. All of your worries and your pros. Road for IB when they see the time come. Time for East Portland, have some fun. The other side them corrupt. Mount the chicks realize them and blood up.
Stop the rapping,
So they can't get enough. Isaac Buchanan come fill Portland up. Talk to them now. And a lie. Portland and a lie. Hey, and a lie. You know one second verse?
Fiboken and Tom Pepper, see nice sky.
You king in the place, tell Portland ready. Isaac for the people, everything steady.
Say them a help the burden get heavy.
Pass was the mother with the feet Panjali. All socialist bunks to the sang. Isaac a do it and a run program. Hold up his hand, put up on the hand. If you are a free Isaac Buchanan, love on my people side.
Isaac a do it when I try, them I try. Fi Buchanan thump up, see nice guy.